The Greek government is raiding its citizens' pockets. The government is taking money from public health and from public transport in order to pay the interest on its debts. We are continuing the conversation with Jim Grant about investing. So, Jim, what does this fight over money between Greece and the European government say about the state of play?
Well, Greece is only doing what other governments do surreptitiously. I mean, the whole idea, for example, of inflation targeting is to take a little bit of your money so that you won't really notice.
And to declare it, right? Hey, we're aiming for 2%, and
right.
if we see that number...
It has become quite overt, which is a new thing. The mandarins who run our central banks have decided among themselves to say that conducted scientific investigations that say
2% is the magic number.
That say that my friend Alex Pollock of the American Enterprise Institute wrote a wonderful piece in the Wall Street Journal the other day pointing out that 2% a year only quadruples prices during a healthy lifetime. So what Greece is doing overtly and noisily other countries are doing through monetary means. David Cameron, the head of another island nation called Britain, came out and tweeted, I think, most undignified tweeting, but came out and said, great, we've got no inflation. Now his central bank minders quickly corrected him. No, we need inflation, they say. So
we went and found some.
So I think the thing for the viewers to know about inflation is that inflation is itself a poor leading indicator of future inflation. As you say, you can have very little inflation in a given year, and the next year will surprise you. That's been the story of these low inflation years going back to the 1930s. We had in the early 1960s like 4 or 5 consecutive years of less than 2% inflation, rates of inflation that would cause today's Fed to have apoplexy. And wouldn't you know it, what happened next was the great inflation of the late 60s and into the 70s, into the early 80s. So it seems to me that when looking, for example, at an investment in bonds yielding just about nothing before tax, you should keep, not in the back, but in the front of your mind, the truism that inflation, too, can surprise you. We at Grants are very, very bullish on the element of surprise.
Very bullish on surprise. What does that mean, though, Jim, for somebody who says, okay, listen, I hear all of this. I still want to own government debt because if the U.S. government goes bankrupt, I have bigger problems. Where can I buy?
Well, you can buy government debt with the understanding that it yields you nothing. Yeah, it's essentially the same as a passbook savings account in your savings bank. I mean, there are ways of getting interest income. Some of these business development companies, we think, offer yields on the order of 7 and 8% and even up, taking reasonable risks in credit. But that is not pure savings bank saving. It's something else again. So if government security is what you like, just don't go to Europe where they actually take your money from you and give you less back than you tendered to them.
All right, so
it's a value proposition I don't really understand.
We somehow look good here with just holding steady.
That's okay. Right. American exceptionalism. Again.
Finally at work. That seems like a great place to wrap. Jim, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Deirdre. Nice to see you.
Jim Grant, likewise, editor of Grant's Interest Rate Observer. More on